Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen, but the most famous Parasaurolophus of them all, Rudolph the Lux Parasaurolophus. Hello everyone, Merry Christmas and Merry everything, and welcome to my Winter Wonderland park in Jurassic World Evolution 2. I showed you the speed build for this park yesterday, and now it's time for the tour. And as we land into the Winter Wonderland park, right away you see the first of three big light designs. We land in the middle of the snowflake, and that's where we start our magical, festive, and nighttime journey. And here we go, welcome to the park. Now the idea here is that for 12 days of Christmas, we have 12 islands, and we're gonna visit all 12 of them and see the dinosaurs that inhabit them. To do that, obviously, because it's an island-based park, we have to cross a lot of bridges like this one. I've done a separate video to show you how I build bridges. I think it's a pretty good technique for it, so check that out on the channel. But here we go, on the first of the islands, and it is like the main guest island. You know, we have the key amenities over here, and we have the first of our Christmas trees. So right at the center of this plaza, we have the Christmas tree, the lights around it. You see, I used a lot of green and red, as you see in the background over there, but this combo of lights just feels like Christmas to me, because that's the kind of Christmas lights that my mom has all over her garden and stuff. So yeah, I feel like that looks even more festive than just the classic red and green. But again, you see that a lot in the park as well. So we're gonna move over here around the fountain. I illuminated these Christmas trees with the Biosyn lights, unmodded, because this park is completely unmodded. The Biosyn lights work the best for this. If you are using mods, I highly recommend that you just use the Lagoon lights for that, because they have a great beam on them. And around the restroom, which is also completely, like, decked out. Deck the halls with boughs of hoss. Stop it? Okay. So what actually happens, right, is we come up on our first exhibit, but our view is obstructed by all of the trees and the rocks, and that is by design. You know, you want guests to explore your park and have these nice little... He looks like he's done. Good sir, are you okay? Do you need some festive Christmas spirit? He looked like he was having a rough time. He's all alone. It's kind of sad. We're gonna ignore him, though. And we're just gonna move on, because right here, when we come up on this part, now we can look into the exhibit. And the first dinosaur in our park is Amargasaurus. Amargasaurus doesn't really have like a theme behind it. It's not like the Parasaurolophus, sort of like representing the reindeer. I just felt like Amargasaurus was a good-sized dinosaur for this habitat. And I guess, you know, with the horns that it has going on, you can sort of say that it's also kind of reindeer-esque. Now, there's several directions we can go in. But I think what we'll do is we'll take the zip line first, and then we'll see the second of our big light designs. So let me hop in here. There you go, and let's fly. So there you have the big Christmas present. And we're also flying over a Pyroraptor exhibit. Now, the Pyroraptors do represent something very Christmassy, if you can guess what it is. Leave that in a comment down below right now, because I'm going to reveal it very soon. And you better not cheat. You better comment it right now, your guesses. Alright, so what I'm actually going to do is... so, like, that's the zipline path that we took, right? But I'm gonna take us back over here to this island. Again, this is the main island where we just were. This is the Amargasaurus exhibit. And you can see that we have the bridge to the arrival island. And we have a bridge over there and a bridge over there. So we're gonna take this bridge first. It's not a very... You can't really go around in this park. So we're gonna have to backtrack a couple of times in order to see absolutely everything. So we're gonna cross yet another bridge, and you can see that the bridges all have slightly different designs. That was, I guess, mostly for myself to keep the building process entertaining, but it's also more fun during the tour, you know, to see some different sites. So yeah, a lot of bridges in this park, and they're all slightly different, which I hope will give you some inspiration for your own bridge builds. They all use the same principle, the same technique, but like with slight differences to just make it more visually interesting and more interesting to build as well. Alright, so when we walk around this candy slash donut shop and we go into this gallery over here, we see the Pyroraptors. Now, did you lock in your predictions for what the Pyroraptors are? Last chance, here we go. And here we go, in this habitat we have the Pyroraptor, which is green and fluffy. So what does that mean? It means that they represent the Grinch, and we have a lot of Grinches in this in this enclosure. Don't read into that. But yeah, there you go. Pyroraptor represents the Grinch. We're gonna keep going with our tour, and we're gonna go over here, over another bridge, and this is going to take us to... God, I don't even remember. Oh, I do remember. We're coming up on the Carnotaurus exhibit. Again, lovely lights lining the way. I really love this. The recolorable lights do so much for the game, and especially for creating a holiday park like this. Like, I've built holiday parks before, but nothing beats the recolorable lights. It's just so good. Look at him right there. Alright, so, oh god, we're not supposed to be here. So yeah, in this habitat on this island, it's not actually connected, but that's okay. Come on, hello? Hello? Oh god, that's the flashlight. There you go. Alright, so in here we have Carnotaurus, we have a sort of white one, and we have the, like, the scarred, and, I don't know, kind of, almost like burnt Toro looking kind of Carnotaurus. So, maybe, I don't know, he got injured climbing down the chimney, who knows? Like, you gotta entertain yourself in some way as you're building a park, right? By the way, this full park build, it might surprise you to know, it took, quote unquote, only 4.5 hours. So 4.5 hours for the entire build, and that includes the 3 massive, like, light designs that we have in here. I'm just gonna sprint around. It's really just the one exhibit, sort of like egg-shaped on this island. And we're gonna move over to the next one. Oh my god, and this is not connected either. Well, okay, so probably the build should have taken like 4 hours and 35 minutes instead of just exactly half an hour. I should have given it 5 extra minutes to connect everything, but there you go. And the section we're coming up now is... It's the Gyrosphere Tour, but I call it the Christmas Bauble Tour, because that's what this is supposed to represent, right? We're riding in a Christmas bauble, a Christmas ornament, a Christmas ball, whatever you want to call it. So guests can go around riding along here. I love what these lights are doing in the habitat. I also put several of these big floodlights overhead, so we can illuminate the dinosaurs. And we just have several different ceratopsians in this exhibit. Again, to sort of represent, like, horned creatures, right? So we have Nasudo, Starraco, and I think Triceratops is in here as well. Just making it a little bit speedy. Let's see if we can find the Triceratops. Oh, they're in the water. They're right there. That's the Triceratops. Dang, that has to be cold! That water is so cold, ladies! Okay, and the Christmas Bauble Tour is also sort of a dead end, right? So you can see here that this is the island that they can tour, and this is the bridge we crossed. This is the Carnotaurus habitat in the middle of this island, so really we have to go all the way back. I love this bridge with the lights, look so cool. This is the island with the Grinch. Right there. I should name him. Grinch. Grinch 1. Grinch 01. There you go. And of course our Christmas present island, which we saw from the zip line as well. I think it's absolutely hilarious. And then we go back to our main guest island, right? So this is just like back to the start. Here we have the arrival point. So back over here. I'm gonna drop us down on this side now. So we can continue our tour. This is the Amargasaurus habitat that we saw before. And I'm gonna, whoa, run through the crowd. Whoa! I really like doing this, like lining the fountains with different colored lights so you can get more colors around your fountains, you know, because the fountains themselves can only have one color. Alright, so next bridge. This one uses torches, because you know I love the torches. And also some red and green lights in the middle over here. Alright, speed. And now we are at the Rudolph Island. So this is where we have the Parasaurolophus representing the 8 reindeer, as well as Rudolph the Lux Parasaurolophus. So we go up here. As with most islands, it's really just one habitat, one exhibit. And the rest is just, you know, guest pathway, stuff like that. It's not a very, how do I say this? It's not a very crowded park in terms of dinosaurs. There aren't that many species. There aren't that many individual animals. I don't know why, really. It just sort of worked out that way. I guess because of the island idea, right? I really wanted to have that island feel, so that meant sacrificing a lot of space to water. And, yeah, that didn't leave you with a lot of area to build enclosures, so that's how we ended up here. And I also didn't want to go for like super small enclosures or anything like that. So that's the para exhibit, and there's several points where you can go down from this elevated pathway. So right here, we go down. And then right away, we're at the next bridge. And you can see that this one is much wider than the other bridges we've had so far. We're gonna run on down. And then this island is for the lagoon. So this is where we have the Styracosaurus lagoon, where you can go down here. I'll show you. Here, you can go down here and back up again. But I'll show you this path instead. Oh, zigzagging through the people. Because I really like this. I really like how this worked out. See, with the biosyn lights in the middle. And the biosyn lights, I feel, kind of look like the horns of reindeer. So that's why I also had them like back to back like that. So it's a dual function, right? They illuminate the trees, red and green. But they also kind of look like reindeer horns. So yeah, these decorations are really great to use in your Christmas parks. I think that looks super adorable. I'm really happy with that. I'm quite chuffed with how that turned out, not gonna lie. Here again, we have the fountain with several lights around it. I sort of mixed up the size for this one. And then we're at a two-way junction again. And I think what we'll do is we'll go this route, actually. This makes sense. And you'll see why in a minute. So we're going to go over here. And where we're going to go now is we're going to go towards Elf Island. And Elf Island has a... Oh god, I just remembered. I didn't even show you the Styxosaurus. I guess I'll show you that later too. It just works out better this way. I'm sorry, this tour is a bit of a mess. It's not, like I said, it's not a park that you can neatly walk all the way around. You have to go back and forth a little bit. That's probably a bit of a design choice, design fault. It's a design choice, but it's a bad choice. But it just worked out this way, and I really like how it looks. I can't lie. So we're on Elf Island, and Elf Island is home to a lot of small green dinosaurs to represent elves. So we have green Compsognathus jumping about, hopping about. Those are the smallest elves. We have kind of big elves, which are the Dryosaurs, as you can see walking around over there. And of course, oh, more compies. And of course, we also have green Hominocephaly. So those are our 3 elf species. You know, elves come in several sizes as well. So there you go. And from Elf Island, you can hop onto another zip line, which is going to take us over the Christmas tree light show, I guess. And that is also the home of the Brachiosaurus. I went with Brachie because, you know, they're big, so they stand out from the zipline tour. And also, they're the Jurassic Park 3 Brachies because they're green and red. See, I think about things. And there you go, flying over The Christmas tree. This is so fun. I also did a short for this because this was so fun to build. And the result, I think, is really, really cool. It's really festive. I love it. I think that's good. Alright, and now we're coming up to this island. And this is Santa's Island. So Santa's Island has Christmas shops. And it has the visitor center at the end, which is kind of like the, you know, Santa's home, or maybe like the toy factory, something like that. So you can imagine that inside this building, there's also attractions, like stuff to do, maybe like creative workshops where you build your own dinosaur toys, stuff like that. I like thinking about that. Now, as you'll note, there's no zip line to take us off the island, right? So the only way to access this island is to come in via the zip line, and the only way to leave is to hop onto the the Polar Express, which sure, Polar Express, there. But it is the Hyperloop system, and the Hyperloop system is gonna take us back there to Styxosaurus Island, right? So it works out that way. So we come out over here. So this actually worked quite well as a bit of a loop. There you go, and now I can show you the Styxosaurus in their lagoon as well. Speed. Alright, going down. I just realized as we're going down, I totally forgot, to decorate this lagoon. That's my bad. Okay, so maybe this park build should have taken 5 hours. I think that's the conclusion we're coming to. It took 4.5. It should have taken 5. I was just sort of rushing to get it done, to be honest, because obviously I wanted to upload the park build yesterday, the tour today. So I had a limited amount of time, an amount of time, an Xmas amount of time, you might even say. Alright, that's enough puns for now. Okay, and yet another bridge, and this is the most different design for the bridge. It actually uses the monorail tracks instead of the pylons with the power cables, which I usually use. And for this one, I feel like it worked out okay. Normally, I prefer not to do this because it looks a little top-heavy. But yeah, for this one, it worked out quite well. And we have this sort of mini island in the middle. It doesn't count towards the 12, so this one doesn't count, okay? Why? Because I say so. And on this mini island, we have a viewing tower, which we can actually use to get a sneak peek at the Dimetrodon, which are in here, but we're also going to be able to see them from the viewing gallery over there. And we get a look at Christmas Bauble Island. So every single aviary is supposed to be a Christmas bauble, Christmas ornaments. One is green, one is red, and the one behind is yellow. And we just get like a nice overview of the park as well. You know, it's not specifically looking into a habitat. It's just one of those towers that gives a cool overview, which I like incorporating. Alright, so we're going to keep on walking. Actually, we're going to run for a little bit. And now we're going to come up on T-Rex Island. And the T-Rex has little babies. Let's hope that we can see the little babies. Of course, we also have guest amenities over here. Let's hop into a tower. And you'll see why it's a tower instead of like a regular viewing gallery. Because this is like a Christmas, like a string of Christmas lights through the habitat, right? And yeah, the Rexes are a little shy. Maybe they've been naughty, so they're hiding in the trees, trying to get away from Santa. Oh, I do see Morris Intrepidus. I see one of them. Hold on, let me hop on out. Let me cheat. Let me show you. Oh, there he is. So this is one of the baby T-Rex. Pay no attention to this. This is a baby T-Rex, obviously. That looks so good with the lights and the white snow-covered grass. There's Mama. There you go. There's Papa. Yeah, love it. I think this is nice. And you know, any excuse to use a T-Rex. It doesn't have any like thematic reasoning behind it other than I wanted to use the T-Rex. It's fluffy, so it sort of fits with the snowy theme. And I like how this exhibit looks with like this random string of light going through it. All right, but continuing our first person tour. Let's move on to Christmas Bauble Island, and this is the thickest bridge that we have in the park. And there we have the Christmas ornaments ahead of us. So I'm going to speed up a little bit, and I'm going to show you all three of them. The interior is quite similar. So in this one we have Dimorphodon. And then in the next one, so that was green. Now we're gonna go into the red one. This is Barbaridactylus. And of course I wanted to use like flying reptiles in the park because they sort of represent the flying reindeer, you know? We needed something airborne in the park. And then when I started to do that, when I started thinking about adding flying reptiles and I began placing the aviary, I realized, hey, if I just make one singular aviary like this, it sort of looks like a huge Christmas ornament, like half buried into the ground. So I thought that was kind of cool. There's a hotel over here and also more guest amenities. Right there. We're gonna walk around so we can get into the yellow Christmas bauble. What do people actually call it? Is it a Christmas bauble, Christmas ornament, Christmas ball? Because Google suggests all of those. I don't know what's the most common thing. In Dutch, we just call it kerstbal. So there you go, a little lesson over there. All right, so this is the yellow one. And this is, of course, home to Tapajara. I say, of course, because it's small and it's colorful, so I felt like it was a good fit. I think this looks really, really good. I really like how the single aviary dome looks for this park. And then across from that, we also have a habitat with Cryolophosaurus. Oh, more people coming into the park. So yeah, this is a Cryolophosaurus. Oh, you can see the brackies from the other island. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, they can get pretty close because the border of their enclosure is sort of like in the water, so they can get pretty close to this island. But this is pretty cool. Seeing the zipliners in the backdrop, Brachiosaurus in front. That's kind of nice. All right, and then if we run on back, there. Oh, sorry. We have this one, and this, of course, for the Dimetrodon. It's in the ice-cold water. That cannot be comfortable. And then this island is also a dead end. It is the end of this section. So right here you have the overview of the entire park. I really enjoyed this park build. You can see just how much of the space is lost on water, right? But you really have to use a lot of water between the islands to make it look like islands, as opposed to like this weird, like multi-branched river running through, right? If you shrink down the water, it doesn't look like islands anymore. It just looks like the weirdest river ever snaking through everything. So yeah, you lose a lot of space. But, you know, I built so many parks. I don't mind doing that. I don't mind building a park that has fewer dinosaurs, especially when it has super cute stuff like this. I'm in love with the recolorable lights. It's so good. Here we have the Brachy getting up. So cool. Yeah, I really like this park. I hope you do as well. And for the end of this video, I just want to wish you Merry Christmas, Merry everything. No matter what you celebrate, I hope that you are having just the most wonderful time of the year and that you're spending it with friends or with family, or maybe you're just playing your favorite games or watching your favorite movies. Whatever. I just hope that you're making a good time of it and that you're all happy and healthy. And I want to thank you all so much for the support on the channel this past year. It's been absolutely amazing. And I hope that with my videos, I've managed to bring you guys a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of entertainment, just a little bit of joy, hopefully. You have definitely provided that to me. I love reading you guys' comments. I love the enthusiasm that we all still have for this game, and I think it's really amazing. So I wanna thank you all so much for the past year. And I hope I've been able to give something in return to that with all of these park builds that I've showed you. Obviously, if you want to see more park builds in 2023, then subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you'll get notified of when new stuff gets uploaded. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time, happy holidays.